How to save the Monaco Grand Prix. We asked you on our wonderful YouTube community if Monaco belongs on the F1 calendar, and 67% of you said yes.
That's a big percentage to say no still. 1/3 of people. That just shows how divisive Monaco is, I think.
So how do we fix it? I think we're both in the camp that Monaco should stay. So the first suggestion that comes in is from @VillageakeF1. Smaller cars, simple. Look at the amount of overtakes at the Monaco Prix. Proves it's a simple problem to solve. How simple is getting smaller cars?
Changing the entire the entire regulations.
Yeah, really simple. I agree. I think that is one of the main reasons why we don't get overtaking. Not that we've necessarily had much overtaking ever. Monaco has always been difficult to overtake. I don't think Formula E can really be used as a comparison here because those cars have very little aero. They don't take the corners very quickly, and people just dive bomb, and it's a little bit sort of, it's a different kind of racing, Formula E. It's a bit more bumper car. It's a bit more, it don't matter if we wheel bang or send it round the outside. There's definitely less aero wash. And also as well, the leader is always, or tends to always be the slowest car anyway, because he's backing off and trying to save energy. So I would say Formula E is a difficult example to use here when we're looking at Formula One. But smaller cars would help, but I don't think it would fix Monaco. Tommy, what do you think?
I think this is a problem with modern Formula One in general. I personally think that the Formula One cars, they need to be smaller. We went to Alpine, I said it when we went to Alpine. There was the Alonso's Renault R25 in there, and the new car looked comically big compared to it. And no wonder they can't race. I do think that would certainly help, but I don't think it's the answer.
David Henry F1 comes in with the next suggestion. New layout to promote overtaking. Either that or scrap the race entirely. Geez, David, calm yourself down, my friend.
A lot of people said that.
One or the other. It's like a completely different track or get rid of the race. Now, I don't know Monaco like the back of my hand, but surely if we're changing the layout, i.e. it's one, not Monaco, the Monaco Grand Prix anymore, but two, do they really have that much flexibility in where we move it?
It's not an airfield like Silverstone, is it, where you can just go, let's reprofile it a little bit.
Yeah, let's make it a bit wider here, because if you make it a bit wider, all of a sudden you're in the water. So it's not like there's much that they can really do with it. We either accept it. I don't think we can really change much. There isn't a lot that we can do with the current Monaco layout.
No, I mean, call me crazy, but I see a lot of videos and a lot of suggestions of, people get the Google Maps out and they're like, look, they could go here, they could go here. And I've seen, some mods where, they turn left before the tunnel and do a whole new wiggly section and then come onto the main straight. I don't think that should be the case. I do think that the beauty of Monaco, and I know people don't like it, but for me, being able, one race a year, being able to see a completely unchanged track since the 50s, like, yes, it's ridiculous, but to see modern Formula One cars race around a track that was still pretty much what it was like in the 1950s, I think is incredibly special. Qualifying obviously is amazing. Yes, the racing is not great.
Summer is coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? Manscaped is dedicated to helping you increase your confidence and level up your full body grooming game with the Performance Package 4.0. The kit comes with the essential Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer. Use it right now. You are shaving off Damon Hill right now. And it has a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. Whether you're trimming your chest or the treasure chest in your pants, or in fact Damon Hill, this is the best trimmer on the market. Their trimmer features a ceramic blade designed to cut hair on loose skin and to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology. You can even trim an arrow pointing to the promised land if you're bold enough. No one likes nose hairs, so their package also comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0. You also get 2 free gifts, the Shed travel bag and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxers. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code P1MT at manscaped.com. Trim your chesticles with the besticles.
I think the only thing I would change about the circuit is, you know, that final corner where old Schumi did that brilliant overtake on Alonso.
Remember it like it was yesterday.
Well.
Yeah.
But do you not think that when they come around that final corner, they have to sort of like, rather than it just being like a nice smooth turn, it's like quite tight, and then they have to go back to the left a little bit. It kind of like cuts in. So it's almost like a mini chicane, if you like. If they just opened that corner up, I feel like it would still be really hard to overtake, but occasionally when someone did get a good run out of Raskas, you could follow down the main straight, DRS, you might get a pass in. I don't want the circuit to be easy to overtake. There is room for one race a year where overtaking is almost impossible, especially now. Like, the biggest complaint, right, is that Red Bull just breeze past everyone in the DRS. And if they can't do that in Monaco, it would be exciting. There'd be a good, you know, it's a different, it offers something different. 23 races, one race where it's really hard to overtake. And I think back to like Monza, where Gasly won. That wouldn't happen at other circuits. Sometimes overtaking is not the be-all and end-all, and actually can make for exciting races, because Monza was terrible. That race that Gasly won, nothing happened. The only excitement was the fact that you had an AlphaTauri leading, and it was like, oh my God, an AlphaTauri's going to win. That Monaco has this reputation of being the most predictable, boring, terrible race.
And most of the time we're right.
If you asked neutral Formula One fans right now, the one thing they'd want more than anything, I would say, would be for Red Bull not to win. Just one race. It's been forever. Even I'm saying that, and I'm support like Verstappen. I want anyone other than Red Bull to just win a damn Grand Prix. It's been far too long.
We'll see, because if Red Bull look out the front row, then
it's game over.
yeah, we're in big trouble. So we'll have to wait and see. Next suggestion comes in from Phoenix84. DRS through the tunnel. Yeah, I mean, I guess the FIA trying not to have DRS round kind of corners, just purely because of the lack of rear stability with the opening of DRS. Again, I'm not sure how much this would actually change.
You get a good run down. I'd say that is probably the main place you still see it.
For safety, this is the reason they don't, right?
Yeah. If you give them DRS for a lot longer, I do think that is the main place we do see a lot of the overtakes at Monaco. I'd not be against it, but I just don't think they'd ever do it because of safety.
Yeah, it's too hard of a right, and it does cause some level of hazard, I think. So
it's painful though, because you always get to that tunnel section and you're like, this is the closest I've ever been, but it's just not. There's just not enough room, and the cars are so quick now that it's over in like 2 seconds down that tunnel.
Next up is from Jones RF873. Softer tyre to ensure at least 2 pit stops. I'm on board with this one. I think tyres are the way to go. And I genuinely don't think there is any solution out there that makes Monaco a banging Grand Prix ever, apart from if we somehow manage to manufacture a slow car at the front of the field and then we get chaos. But I think if we're not going to go down the whole circus route, a softer tyre, even like an ultra soft tyre, something that mixes it up, something different for Monaco. But then should it be different? Because why does Monaco get a different set of variables than the rest of the season? Why should it be this circus? Why should we have to?
You say that though, but sprint races, they're different. Like they're starting trying to like, oh, we'll do this at this race and we'll do this at that race.
But where does it end? Where does it become a sport where you actually don't know whether you're coming or going, because there's so many different sets of rules, because Monaco's boring, and then we've got 6 sprint races and the rest are normal. And then, but in some of those normal races, they're then changing qualifying so that you have to use soft, medium and hard in different sessions. Just have to be careful, I would say, Formula One.
I think this just happens to be the solution for Formula One racing itself. I said this to you the other day, that my God, I'm just dreaming of a Grand Prix that's not a one-stop. And I think that would just make it so much better. Problem is now, everyone starts on the same tyre pretty much. And they just go to a pit window like Baku. Either a safety car or something happens, they all pit at the same time, and then that's it to the end of the race. So this is something that just needs to be implemented in Formula One anyway. And I think Monaco would lend itself perfectly to the thing you said in the one rule that we'd change, where if you make the tyre gap completely different, because we've seen overtakes in Monaco where driver starts last, Max Verstappen 2018, like I said. He made some good passes there, and you can do it. It's really difficult, but it's exciting when they do it because it's rare and it looks a bit sketchy and it's like brave. But you need such a performance advantage, and that's what he had in 2018 because he's driving against cars that are like 2-3 seconds slower. So you need two different compounds that are like 4 or 5 seconds apart. And then I think that would be great, because 2011 was such a good Grand Prix at Monaco because you get stuck behind and then you can pit and then you've got ultra sauce to like carve your way back through the field. You just need like strategy changing and stuff. And I think that is just Formula One in general, not just Monaco. And I think if you had that, Monaco wouldn't I think bad racing and the bad regulations we've got at the moment is making Monaco even worse.
I love how passionate you get around this. Next suggestion is from Comey Gabby. I would make a quick, weird quali. Everyone has a lap to do, alone. Has only one chance, with the same amount of fuel and fresh tyres. Order would be decided via a draw. I mean, I am all for one-shot qualies, but it doesn't need to be a game show. The Monaco Grand Prix does not need to be a wheel of fortune. Spin the wheel, let's see what prize you've won. So we're now going to come to the stage of this chat where we decide one of those suggestions, or perhaps our own suggestion, on how to improve Monaco. For me, I am very much on board with the tyres. I think that it was Jones saying about a softer tyre to ensure at least 2 pit stops. I think having that massive gap is the way forward, and one of the only sort of reasonable, not over the top suggestions where you go, that was like a nice little tweak we made to Monaco, but nothing crazy like flipping the track upside down and racing underwater or something. Like it's very much like a case of just the slightest tweak to the tyres.
Yeah, the tyres for me is the solution, because dare I say, if you had a race where there was a huge gap between the tyres, so you'd see passing and then you'd have different people leading. You know, if you had a race, even if there's no like overtaking on track where Verstappen pits, he loses the lead, then he might be stuck behind another car, but he's got way better tyres, and then it's critical that he has to pass. Otherwise, it's going to lose strategy. You get a really exciting race, and more exciting than what we've seen on the bigger, more open tracks, because you just get a bit more unpredictability and stuff. So tyres are the solution for Monaco, definitely. And I think just F1 in general, because at the moment, one stops are not the one.
Okay, well, that is pretty much that. Tommy, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are that everyone remembers the 2016 Monaco Grand Prix, where Danny Ric was robbed, and the drama of that race. I don't remember a single overtake from that race, but I remember that race as clear as day. I think a lot of F1 fans would as well. 3 races earlier was the 2016 Chinese Grand Prix. Can you tell me anything about that race?
2016
China.
I mean, you're really testing my memory here. I'm going to go with no.
That's the correct answer. It had the most overtakes in Formula One history. It had 161 overtakes. And I think that just proves the point that overtaking is not everything, because that was the most overtakes in a Grand Prix. And I looked at the classification. I don't remember anything about it. Rosberg won by 35 seconds.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, yes.
It was just nothing happened.
Tommy trying to make a point about why Monaco should stay on the calendar. I'd love
Overtaking is not everything. That's
to be fair, at Monaco, when Danny Ric had that problem with his Red Bull as well, and then still managed to win with Vettel chasing him down, wasn't he?
It's a lot of memorable races.
Yeah, not a lot of overtaking, but still a lot of tension. And Tommy, you and I are actually going to be in Monaco for the Grand Prix, so there won't be any Twitch watch-alongs this weekend. However, we will still give you loads of podcasts. We'll give you loads of content, hopefully as well on YouTube, and you can look forward to that. And if Alonso wins, you may not see Tommy ever again because you may have killed off the end of the boat, having had far too many to drink.
Yeah, I'll be doing the jumping into the harbour celebration.
Oh, goodness me. Yes, please. I can't wait to see that.
And being banned from Formula One forever.
Forever. Love to see it. Oh, what a way to go, eh, Tommy?
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you very soon for another podcast. Bye.
Bye.